Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to ninth Standard English class. Unit 7 Poem Stick Together Families, written by Edgar Albert Guest. My dear children, today we are going to see a poem which depicts the importance of joint family. Children, you imagine how is your life being only with your father and mother as a small family. And how could your life be if you live with your grandfather, grandmother, uncle, auntie, niece, nephew, and others as a joint family? Yes, you would be happy in joint family than in small family. About the poet Edgar Albert Guest, 20th August 1881 to 5th August 1959, was a British born American poet who was later known as the People's Poet. His poems often had an inspirational and optimistic view of everyday life. The stick together families are happier by far than the brothers and sisters who take separate highways are. The gladdest people living are the wholesome folks who make a circle at the fireside that no power but death can break, and the finest of conventions ever held beneath the sun are the little family gatherings when the busy day is done. Okay, let us get into the poem. In the first two lines, he states that the families that stick together are the happiest. He is assuming that those such as brothers and sisters are always going to be more at peace when they stay together rather than taking separate highways. In the next two lines, he is depicting an intimate moment with the family that cares enough to spend time together without distraction. They are wholesome and happy or gladsome. Their bond to one another is unbreakable except if death were to strike. In the last two lines, the speaker describes another moment of coming together. The family in question this time is one that works hard during the day and then meets up when the busy day is done. There are rich folk, there are poor folk who imagine they are wise, and they are very quick to shatter all the little family ties. Each goes searching after pleasure in his own selected way. Each with strangers likes to wander and with strangers likes to play. But its bitterness they harvest and its empty joy they find. For the children that are wisest are the stick together kind. Stanza 2. This time it is in reference to the children who are wisest. They do not come from only rich or poor families. Instead, they are only defined by their attention to one another and desire to go, searching after pleasure, together rather than separately. If one does not pursue this kind of connected life, then they will end up with an empty field devoid of joy. There are some who seem to fancy that for gladness they must roam, that for smiles that are the brightest they must wander far from home, that the strange friend is the true friend and they travel far astray. They waste their lives in striving for a joy that's far away. But the gladdest sort of people, when the busy day is done, are the brothers and the sisters who together share their fun. Stanza 3. In the third stanza, the speaker does away with the belief that happiness is only gained through roaming. These same kind of people are drawn to the idea of wandering and seeking out strange friends who are not necessarily good ones. All of this, the speaker says, is in vain. It is wasted time that would be better spent alongside someone who truly cares. In the last two lines, again the poet repeats the points of the previous stanza. A busy day does not need to separate family members. Time can always be found to come together, and happiness and fun exist only in a shared experience. It's the stick together family that wins the joys of earth, that hears the sweetest music, and that finds the finest myth. It's the old home roof that shelters all the charm that life can give. There you find the gladdest playground, there the happiest spot to live. And oh weary, wandering brother, if contentment you would win, come you back unto the fireside and be comrade with your kin. In the final stanza 4, the speaker repeats that the happiest families are those that stick together. That is, being together. They are the ones that can find the most beautiful and peaceful moments on earth and create for themselves wherever they are a real home. The last line asks that the wayward brother comes back to the fireside and be with his kin. Kin relations. Let us see the recap. In this poem, the poet says the importance of joint family throughout this poem. Let me tell you about joint family. Living in a joint family means adjusting with all the uncles, aunt and cousins. A family is that umbrella. It is like umbrella whose value is not realized until the stormy clouds loom over you. But when you look up with the hope that someone will come to your rescue, the first silent approaching steps will be of your family members. This is family. You grow together, learn together, agree, disagree, fight, make up, move on in your lives. But in the end, when you need someone, you know your siblings and your family will be right there to help you. So, love your relations and strengthen your bondage with all your family members so that your family would become a heaven to live in. Thank you, my dear children. I hope you all understood this class. I'll catch you in the next class.